As they learn that their most potent rites and spells have not changed your divine path, the Dark Coven has become more enraged than ever before. They have used every prohibited spell and given up a great deal of material wealth in an attempt to stop you, only to watch in horror as your fate plays out precisely as the universe decreed. The fact that your fate was predetermined by higher powers long before their coven was even created and was written in celestial ink that no earthly spell could read is something they cannot refute but refuse to accept. Erase your ascension is not merely unavoidable. It is cosmically safeguarded, divinely predestined, and totally outside of their control. The dark forces that are currently assembling against you are roiling with rage, regardless of how furious they get. Even though they gather in shadows, burning black candles and shouting old curses, they are powerless to change what the stars have decided is right for you. As they watch your unstoppable ascension, don't be fooled. The cosmos has marked you. Their impotent wrath only intensifies every day. You were picked. You were chosen. You were chosen for glory beyond earthly understanding. The signs, the inexplicable knowing, the feeling of being unique, the burning in your spirit, the whispers that there is more, the reason, have been there since birth. Your eyes have been forced awake as others sleepwalk through life. Your spirit rebels against the norm, while others settle for mediocrity. This was written long before you took your first breath, and the stars aligned specifically for your voyage, creating cosmic doorways that are still shut off. The very fabric of reality bends to make room for your passage through dimensions, and most swing wide open as you approach. Your name echoes through ethereal halls where fates are sealed and destiny is made, yet others cannot hear it. You are never really alone, because there are always eyes watching you, seeing your amazing potential unfolding in accordance with divine schedule. Every morning when you wake up, invisible powers take notice. Every night when you dream, your soul journeys to councils where ancient entities discuss your growth. They observe, they analyze your words, and watch how you move. They have been working ceaselessly behind false pretenses, thinking they are smart and strong enough to stop what the universe has decreed. That individual who plans your demise while grinning at you knows they've noticed your strength increasing. The person in charge who abruptly puts barriers in your way because they are afraid of who you may become. That spiritual counselor who quietly belittles you, they have darker masters than they acknowledge. It may be a lawyer falsifying documents against you, a buddy turning people against you by whispering falsehoods, or someone in a uniform or with a title abusing their position to impede your advancement. Observe who appears to be particularly interested in your shortcomings. When you struggle, who looks oddly relieved? Who gives you assistance that somehow makes you weaker? They are desperate in spite of their collective efforts, their rituals, and their strategies. You continue to rise. It enrages them to no end because they finally understand the terrible reality. They cannot change your tale. They expected you to be shattered by now, defeated, and surrendered. But instead, you are growing stronger every day and burning brighter with every attempt to put out your light. Your achievement is not merely possible, it is predetermined and inscribed in cosmic ink that no dark magic nor mortal hands can remove. Their nighttime meetings get increasingly chaotic, their sacrifices more drastic, and their entreaties to shadow beings more fervent. For nothing, they use darker arts, blood rites in moonless nights, ancestral curses murmured into animal skulls, contracts made with things they hardly comprehend, and trembling hands casting bones and crimson omens in search of any breach in your cosmic armor. Every trap they build only captures their own essence. Every curse they make boomerangs back with triple force, and every mental attack they unleash evaporates when it comes into contact with your aura. There is a reason you are here. Respond to the call if you sense it. Click Join to have access to a strong community, insightful insights, and exclusive content. This is an awakening, not only a membership. Enter your divine calling. Become one of the selected. Your adversaries are so focused on killing you that they are blind to the fact that they are gradually being destroyed as well. Their strength ebbing, their relationships breaking, their abilities eroding with every failed attempt. This is not your typical intuition. That instinct that pulls you towards some individuals and pushes you away from others. That voice that whispers warnings in your ear. That gut feeling that has saved your life countless times. This is a gift from heaven, forged by the crucible of your previous struggles, seasoned by all the betrayals you've experienced, and honed by all the challenges you've surmounted. They, the evil coven believed, can impair your vision. They use spells of confusion, sent false messages, and made intricate illusions, but your soul is able to see through all of their tricks. You were reared in a battle zone, not merely in hardship, and your third eye pierces veils that make others shiver. You learn to spot danger in the tiniest change in energy, and to identify lies in the smallest discrepancies, whereas others acquired pleasant lessons in safety. Your survival required nothing less. Therefore, you evolved senses that others cannot understand. You've turned into the dark force's most dreadful enemy because they thought you were simple prey, someone they could control and drain whenever they wanted. Because unlike others they've met, you see them. You know how they move. Your spiritual radar sees them coming long before they do. And this gift, which is unassailable, unabated, and uncorruptible, becomes more potent with every effort to subvert it. Dreams that allow your psychic powers to grow in ways that even celestial observers find astounding. Reveal enemy tactics in great detail, an epiphany that helps you avoid ambushes safely, visions that foreshadow opportunities before they materialize. Even your physical senses have been sharpened, detecting changes in energy, tasting deceit in the air, and sensing changes in reality that others are unaware of. The Dark Coven tried to enter your dreams, but was unable to do so because they were imprisoned within your imagination and were being questioned by your subconscious. They were banished with warnings, burned into their astral bodies. Let your love show, if God's blessings fill your heart to overflowing. Give $20 or more by clicking the Super Thank You button to help sow seeds of faith that will change the lives of countless people. His riches is reflected in your generosity. Let His grace to flow through you and see His kingdom grow. After attempting to create false synchronicity, they found that you can reliably differentiate real cosmic signals from fake ones. They don't realize that your intuitive abilities aren't just personal gifts. Rather, they're universal forces operating via your special vessel. Your intuition is not just yours. It is the universe speaking through your well-tuned internal systems as they conspire against you in what they perceive to be the present. You are already quantum, jumped out of their grasp. The version of you they are aiming for is no longer there, and the timeline they are working on is out of date. This is not a typical transition. You may feel as though everything in your life is accelerating, that old cycles are dissolving before your eyes, and that old patterns are shattering like broken glass. You are escaping loops that have imprisoned you for lifetimes and leaping frequencies at a speed that defies spiritual physics in this cosmic timeline change. As the cosmic wheels rotate, a major celestial upheaval is about to occur. Your spiritual reality undergoes a simultaneous metamorphosis. What appears to be a straightforward passage of time on earthly planes is actually a huge dimensional leap in the universe's plans for you. The Dark Coven continues to perform spells on a phantom version of your reality while remaining unaware. It will be too late by the time they recognize that you have surpassed their frequency. The time frame you have entered cannot be opened again. The portal you have entered cannot be opened, and this transformation cannot be undone. Entered is inaccessible to those who would do you harm. You've outgrown their capacity to confine you, outperformed their magic, and outwitted their plan. Every sunrise gives you the chance to travel farther into parallel dimensions where your power increases exponentially, and every sunset seals your progress, making it impossible for enemies to pull you back into earlier timelines where their influence was stronger. The spiritual technology. What others consider to be ordinary days are actually quantum gateways for you. Unconsciously, you have access to more than they have ever experienced. While they are stuck in out-of-date spiritual software, the codes in your soul are designed to automatically upgrade your energy operating system. In order to access power from cosmic batteries that others are unable to even comprehend, your very DNA is reorganizing and reviving dormant strands that connect you directly to source energy. The most horrifying thing for them is that you're not the only one experiencing this acceleration worldwide. Other people with like markings are also awakening at the same time, becoming a race, too big a network of light for any Dark Coven to handle. In dreams, meditation, and sporadic moments of deep connection, you can sense these kindred spirits. This collective rising causes seismic disruptions in lower frequencies where evil forces function. You see, the systems have been manipulated since the beginning, and if you pay attention, you can sense that the walls are closing in. We don't beg the house for scraps. Instead, we build our own table. Let's face it, living paycheck to paycheck at the whim of the market is a game designed for you to lose. They hold the land, the profits, the rules, and they keep you busy while they load the deck. Magic, putting arbitrary barriers in your way and hoping that something, anything, will slow you down. They try to change how people perceive you. They use whisper networks to disseminate rumors, and they try to influence social media algorithms against you. That fictitious authoritative figure, possibly someone disguising themselves as having legal knowledge, spiritual direction, or an official position, has become essential to their schemes. But pay great attention to their eyes, note how their confidence falters, and how their voice loses conviction. They are aware that they are losing ground. This circumstance, do you recall how the naught ate up everything in its path in the never-ending story? They attempted to portray you as a victim in that story, caught in never-ending cycles of rebirth and loss. But the narrative has since turned around. While you are free, they are caught in the circle, being consumed by the very void they created. Their most strong seers return from trance states trembling, and their most gifted psychics report unsettling visions in which they are unable to identify your energy signature in any of the typical dimensions. Confused, referring to dazzling illumination where your future ought to be apparent. Their best divers toss runes, cards, and bones in inconceivable formations. The technical surveillance they used crashes inexplicably when your name is spoken. Anytime it concentrates on your actions for an extended period of time. The energetic parasites they sent to drain you return feeble and emaciated, unable to draw out even the slightest drop of your life force. The spiritual traps they lay are either empty or capture things they never meant to attract. Your adversaries have emergency councils in boardrooms, backrooms, temples, tunnels, digital areas, and dream realms. Fingers point, sciences split under pressure. Hierarchies fall apart as lower-ranking members doubt the leadership's ability, and resources run out as supporters stop supporting what seems to be a futile fight against the inevitable. The Dark Coven trembles as something nears on your horizon, a moment that has been divinely orchestrated and cannot be stopped. Whatever shape it takes, know that the universe is bringing you into alignment with others who carry similar cosmic markings, people who are equally chosen, equally powerful, and equally fated for extraordinary paths. It could be a partnership that will increase your power exponentially, a career breakthrough that propels you beyond their reach, or a meeting with someone who holds the missing piece to your spiritual puzzle. The dominoes of destiny are perfectly aligned, and someone in the shadows is watching in panic as the pieces fall into place. They see the clear pattern of divine intervention playing out in front of them, and they are quite aware that they are powerless to stop what is about to happen. The crown that belongs on your head shines in anticipation. The throne that has waited for you through lifetimes is ready. The power that is your birthright surges toward your outstretched hands. Nothing can stop this coronation. Not human intervention, not dark magic, not even your own doubts. You are about to take your rightful place. Stars have been gradually shifting their positions, galactic forces have bent their trajectories, and cosmic particles have rearranged their patterns to create this perfect convergence that leads you to your destiny. These celestial mechanics have been at work for centuries. The evil coven is trying to avert a tsunami using a spiritual technology, but they are unable to interfere with such large-scale activities, even if they can detect this enormous celestial machinery at action. Paper Fan, attempting to use a candle to achieve planetary alignment, and using elementary school magic to subvert universal law. Your opponents have already started getting ready for the fallout in their most private moments. Some have even started to run away in the hopes of gaining enough distance before your full power kicks in, while others are feverishly negotiating in hopes of obtaining amnesty for their crimes against you. The most shrewd of them have already changed sides, covertly directing their energies toward your ascension, in the hopes that their early realization of your impending triumph will protect them from consequences prior to your full triumph. Be prepared for one final pitiful attack, a spiritual attack that bounces off your strength and aura, a legal entanglement that breaks down upon deeper inspection, or a betrayal that doesn't hurt you as deeply as planned. They may have filed papers, made fraudulent claims, or twisted regulations to try to go around the law, but the seeds of their deceit are what will ultimately bring it down. They are seeing resistance from the very systems they are attempting to deploy as weapons. The person who so desperately wanted to keep you helpless, and dependent is revealing their actual self to the world, and not just to your keen senses. In front of a startled audience, their reputation is dismantled, thread by thread. Most satisfyingly, the Dark Coven itself breaks apart from within. Once bound together only by their resistance to your ascent, they now turn on one another as their own spells backfire spectacularly, trapping them. Webs intended for you. Their alliances break down due to suspicion and blame. They believed they were masters of darkness, but they overlooked the fact that light is necessary for shadows to exist, and that your light reveals everything they have attempted to conceal. The cosmic humor in this circumstance cannot be overlooked. Everything they deployed against you becomes the exact catalyst for your greater evolution. Every hurdle they set in your path becomes the precise stepping stone you required. Every attack they launched becomes the precise stimuli needed to awaken your latent powers. In an almost hilarious display of impotence, their most complex plan, one that has been in the works for years, involving dozens of players in exact formulation, requiring numerous resources and rare ingredients, fails. The universe itself seems to be laughing at them as specialized instruments malfunction at critical times. Important individuals forget important phrases, and precisely scheduled astronomical alignments are obstructed by sudden cloud formations that come literally out of nowhere. Efforts. Nature works in concert to keep you safe. Plants provide unexpected healing properties, animals alert you to danger, and they obey your unconscious commands. Even technology works in your favor in unusual ways, with gadgets operating beyond their capabilities, connections forming against all odds, and information arriving through mysterious channels just when you need it, while you're sleeping or as you go about your day. You are surrounded by legions of invisible forces, flaming sword-wielding angels, ancestors whose blood flows strongly through your veins, and divine beings attracted to your special spiritual signature. You can sense them when you walk into rooms and the energy changes. Notice them when coincidences seem too good to be true, and acknowledge their presence when you survive what should have destroyed you. Powerful light magic is being used as a shield around you by someone who is related to your soul, even if you have never met them in this lifetime. Their prayers form barriers that dark forces cannot cross, and their protective rituals envelop you in divine light. The spiritual conflict that was going on all around you has already ended, but the battle's echoes can still be heard. Realms beyond mortal perception declared triumph. Before the final moves were made on this earthly board, the outcome was predetermined. Nothing that is created against you will succeed, including curses uttered in shadowed rooms, poison given through a false friendship, maliciously set legal traps, and lies that damage your reputation that are disseminated online. Everything that is launched against you multiplies back to its sender. Someone who digs a chain for you ends up in their own grave. Each chain that is fashioned for you serves as a binding restraint for them. The strength of the forces tasked with protecting you is greater than that given to most souls, guardian angels with specialized knowledge pertinent to your mission, spirit guides with unique knowledge that is exactly in line with your path, and ancestral protectors whose warrior skills have been refined over centuries. This exceptional security detail was given to you for a reason. It shows how important you are to the larger picture. Cosmic Plan. Top-tier protection is not used by the universe for lesser players. Because of your vital position in the current evolutionary upheavals occurring on Earth, you are surrounded by these elite spiritual forces. Your adversaries are aware of this divine protection, yet they constantly undervalue it. They search for flaws, but are unable to find any. They try to divert your focus, only to find that your defenses function independently of your conscious awareness. They attempt to strike when they are most vulnerable, but are met with secondary and tertiary protection. Systems that turn on their own. And most powerful of all, your defense is always changing. Because your spiritual protection is constantly updating itself, learning from every attempt, plugging vulnerabilities before they can be exploited, and expanding its powers beyond what any evil force can understand. What worked against others fails against you. The light contained in your DNA awakens now, illuminating everything around you and making you difficult to ignore. You were born to shine with beautiful, blinding brilliance. Your adversaries are worn out from their unsuccessful war against you. Their resources are gone, their vitality is sapped, their options are gone, and their spirits are destroyed by constant failure. This is something that cannot be diminished or forgotten. They look on helplessly as you take ownership of what was always yours. The success that is coming your way isn't small or gradual. It's enormous and unquestionable. Love that satisfies the deepest desires of your soul. Plenty that puts an end to financial worries forever. And promotion to positions that are commensurate with you. Genuine potential, divine alignment that fosters deep tranquility amidst remarkable success. Even though they are unable to touch, contaminate, or lessen it in any way, they will see your ascension, your celebration, and all they attempted to stop come to pass before their very eyes. Cosmic powers beyond their grasp have signed the decree. Forces beyond their comprehension have cleared your road, and the divine hand has sealed your triumph in the stars and brought it to you. Exact moment in time. You cannot change your fate. You cannot stop your ascension, and you cannot deny your destiny. The cosmos merely chuckles because what has been written for you surpasses their meager abilities, while the dark coven rages in helpless fury. Beyond personal triumph, this victory has ripple effects that help many others. For example, doors you open stay open to others who follow. Walls you tear down remain demolished for future travelers, and the light you produce illuminates routes for souls you may encounter. Never meet. Remember this important fact. You were picked for effect rather than ease. All of the difficulties you encountered were intended to shape you into the exact tool required for this historic moment. They were never punishments, but rather preparations. They were not cruel mishaps, but meticulous adjustments. Expect a dramatic response from reality as you fully utilize your power. Manifestations will materialize almost instantly. Synchronicity will multiply beyond coincidence into constant confirmation. Abundance will flow in tidal waves rather than trickles. Connections will form through magnetic inevitability rather than careful cultivation. The universe will whisper your name with reverence. The elements will react to your presence with celebration. Time itself will bend accommodatingly around your movements, and reality will reshape itself to support your vision. Your greatness has been waiting for you since the beginning of time. Embrace it now.